reason or the other, I'm not ready to share with my family that I was saying. Although it was my idea in the first place. But you know, after all, I just got tired. I just said, well, I already told my mom. Hold on a second, please. I said, I already told my mom. When are you going to tell your family? Not because I want you to introduce me to them officially. After all, they already know we dated. Then it was giving me excuses. Too many excuses, one excuse to the other. Then one time I said, your parents always stroll into your place. What if they meet me here? Do you know what he said to me? He said, I'll hide it.
You do what? You will do what? This.
I will hide in the room.
Who will? You will hide.
Me.
You will hide in this room.
I was ashamed. It's not a very big apartment. It's not a luxury apartment. So we like at the cupboard. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed of the choices I made.
You're welcome to Heartitude Impact Show, where we discuss matters that matters to you. Today, I'm your host, and I'm not going to be hosting this alone. I'm always here with Sarah and with Becky. Sarah, can you say hi to our people at home?
Hi guys, my name is Sarah Adesoya, and we'll be shaking a few tables. Those things that you see and ignore, and tomorrow you start answering us epistles. Well, that's what we're talking about here today. We're hoping that you'll be able to pick up one or two things that applies to you, and take them a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, obviously. And your favorite mama is it? You know something about Becky. Becky actually, you see, sometimes I feel like Becky will be the one that will actually force you to go and marry. Because no. You see, the wealth of wisdom, the wealth of experience that actually come out from you that you share, we truly appreciate it. And people that are commonsensical, that have their sense, should appreciate it. Yeah. So Becky is there. Becky, say hi to her.
Okay, alright, viewers at home, good day to you wherever you're watching us from. It's another wonderful moment with us on this program today. And like you always know, you have to that you're going to get something to take home on every of our episodes. And today's not going to be an exception. So we just want you to sit back. If possible, take your writing materials. You're going to go home today. Don't mind all the bad goes on the program. You know, at times we agree to disagree. So, but just try to wherever the word touches you, please try to work on it and take it outside there. Let somebody also be part of this program. So it promises to be wonderful with you today, and you enjoy it. So thank you.
Yeah, Becky, I heard you say I will take something. What about the tomorrow?
Anyway, you are. Just make sure that you have something to say to you.
Okay, so today, like Sarah said, we'll be shaking some tables and possibly we may break some table before some table break your house.
Okay.
Really?
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's break it on this program.
Yeah.
Because
last week we started delving into a matter of a guy that his friend were touching.
I think
Osinachi,
and if I there,
So Osinachi, if you have not watched that episode, I think you should go and watch that episode because it's like a follow-up.
do you know Osinachi personally?
All the Osinachi in the world.
You know Osinachi. Sorry. Alright, so before we continue, we decided to say, okay, fine, concerning Osinachi case and some things that are actually obvious before you, but you are not looking. Because somebody said that when you are in love, you are blind. So we are not in your love, so we are not blind. We can see what you are not seeing.
Yes.
Okay, we are not saying we are not in love. We are not in your love. You get Sarah. So we can see some things you are not seeing. And one of the issues we want to talk about is certain red flags that people tend to know. And let me even start from from a guy's perspective, and I'm talking to ladies out there. And you see, we are not saying we have the final authority over this, but we are actually saying that this, you can look very well intently into this matter. You see, the first thing I want to say from my end is that if you are in a relationship with a guy, or let me say with a lady still we may not, but it's not like it's that good. We may want to just say that okay, a guy can work on it, but you are in a relationship with a guy that maybe when you are now discussing anytime, okay, we want to go for a cinema show, say let me talk to my mommy about it. You need a gift for Valentine. I didn't say anything. Okay, let me talk to my mom. Or like, okay, you said that, okay, babe, please, there is this party that.
Sarah is already boiling.
I'm not boiling. What do you mean? Are you?
I'm not boiling.
No, I'm not boiling. Although they say, I like to say they say never say never, but I'm sorry, I don't.
But can you handle mommy's voice, Sarah?
Sarah, you know about mommy's voice.
Can you?
Don't you? You know now. Why you still asking me?
You know, Sarah,
You already know the answer.
I'm not your what?
I'm not your mom.
Yeah. Okay, so like, some things happen, and when you hear, you say, something like this do happen. You understand? But believe me, I can tell you that it happens.
It happens. Even with grown men. Someone who is like 35, someone with 42, it can happen. So before now, you have talked about having 2 kids. You said, oh, when we get married, we're going to have 2 kids, whether 2 boys or 2 girls. And you guys are both fine. You've asked this guy that, what if, because sometimes you say we want 2 kids, and then you see what if we have only 2 girls? The guy may say yes. If you have only 2 boys, you've agreed whether to both genders or not, just 2 kids. And all of a sudden, they are coming to tell you that.
You don't give me birth to both.
They are coming to tell you that, mommy too. Funny enough, I've been in such situation before, and I've been in such situation before, Sha.
Mommy's boy.
No, not really mommy's boy. This one was more like family's boy.
That one is like.
This one was more like family's boy, and I already knew that I'm going to procreate with this person, but every other thing will be decided by the family.
Okay.
Of course, you know now, it was one of the.
Okay. Well, for example, when you are talking, somebody that always supports mommy, like, mommy, my wife says something is expensive in the market. How are you coping?
Okay, I think I have a case. I have a case like that. But before I go to my case, let me just use myself. See, what you cannot take in marriage, it's a relationship.
I like this Becky stance.
Me, I would like
Please,
no. It's a relationship. It is not yet a marriage. If it is a marriage now, it has become a matter of, you say you want to pull out all eyes will be on you.
Family meeting
on you.
Church
You don't have a good character.
Friends.
So I used to tell people, before you say I do, think and rethink.
So that
because once you say I do,
you are done for.
But wait though,
but in our generation of nowadays, even I
do you know that
less than a week they are
but
doing
wait,
it.
let me say something. When we talk about red flags, sometimes red flags are not entirely red. Like, it's like a wave. I speak from personal experience this time around. It's like it just goes. You're not sure. It just comes. You're wondering, because when you're dating someone, I believe that you have to be patient. You have to try and be understanding.
Yeah.
No. It's not like giving them excuses, but sometimes you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. That is this way?
So
wait. Let me complete. I'm not. Okay, so this person I said is a family person. When we first started dating, I knew, but I wasn't sure. Then when we dated again years after.
Okay, you guys broke up.
Yeah.
And you dated again.
Yeah, he did something. He was telling me, I want to do this. I'm like, this is not good for you. Wait till you earn more.
He said, that's the same advice my mom gives to me. I'm like, okay. So why are you not listening? If your mom is saying this, and I'm saying this as well, why don't you just say, he did not listen. Then later, I told him, I asked him how far with this plan. He said, I changed my mind. I said, why? He said, I spoke to Popsy. And Popsy said, no. Please, was I wrong? This time around, no. This time around, I was sure. The first time we dated, it was there. I was a lot younger. I was a lot younger. I was like about 6-7 years younger. It was a span of about 8 years. I mean, we broke up. And I knew that this person would never be able to do things without his family, make big decisions without his family's consent. But I wasn't really sure. But this time around, I knew because I'm older and I'm more mature. So red flag, sometimes you just blame people and say the signs were there. Sometimes you're not really sure. Sometimes it's like a wave. Sometimes you want to give them the benefit of... There's a difference between giving someone the benefit of a doubt and making excuse. Then I just had a feeling. But this time around, with that thing that happened, I was sure that this one, they would never be able to do anything without the consent of his family. Okay. Now, let me also tell you that what I realized is sometimes when someone is the weakest in the family, this is something I'm just saying that I later realized, not from my personal experience, is that the person is likely to have family support. If the person is from a decent or from a good family, they are likely to have support from their family such that anything they want to do, they carry their family along. So over time, there is this bond between the family and this person we're talking about, whether it's the mommy's boy or the daddy's girl.
That bondage or
I don't want to say bondage, but that does not allow for independence. Independence because each time, because it's the weakest person in the family, you know, the child who is not as smart as the rest, the child who is not as didn't do well in school like the rest, and several of that. Over time, it's a good thing in a way because they have their family support. But I don't know how to explain that. Over the years, that person would not have an independent mind to do certain things on their own, which also includes their choice of partner and all of that. So that was something I later realized. So it's good, but it is not good. It comes with its own disadvantage because at the end of the day, the family is, if the person cannot realize by themselves that I should be able to do certain things on my own, the family should be able to say, after all, they are wise that this race or this journey is yours. So it should be your own decision to make. So I think that's one thing I've always wanted to share. I've always felt about red flags. Red flags, and I'm not making excuses here. They're not entirely red, like pepper red. Sometimes it's a shade of red that you don't even know whether it's a red flag. You don't know because of immaturity, maybe because of lack of experience. I was older, so maybe that one thing happened. I just knew that. I just knew. But that first time, I wasn't really sure. I was thinking, is this? No, I'm talking from what I've experienced.
I get
I'm like, and I really like this person. Like I stood up for this person. For one reason, my parents had genuine reason to say, "Are you sure you want to do this?" But I stood up for this person. I practically stood up for this person. Do you know what happened? The next time, he's like, for one reason or the other, I'm not ready to share with my family that I was saying. Although it was my idea in the first place. But you know, after all, I just got tired. I just said, well, I already told my mom. Hold on a second, please. I said, I already told my mom. When are you going to tell your family? Not because I want you to introduce me to them officially. After all, they already know we dated. Then it was giving me excuses. Too many excuses, one excuse to the other. Then one time I said, your parents always stroll into your place. What if they meet me here? Do you know what he said to me? He said, I'll hide it.
You will what? You will do what?
This.
I will hide in the room.
You will hide.
You will hide in this room.
I was ashamed. It's not a very big apartment. It's not a luxury apartment. So we like at the cupboard. I was embarrassed. I was ashamed of the choices I made. In that moment, I remember that my parents were saying, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I stood up to my dad. I stood up to my dad. I said, "This is what I want to do. I'm a lady." I stood up. I said, "This is the person I want," and that was it. And we dated 2 years the first time. And this is someone telling me to hide in the room. Wow. Each time I look back at it, I'm ashamed of the choice that I made. I'm embarrassed.
But thank God you are married. It was a relationship.
So you're married. I don't think I know I should be patient, but I don't think I'll be that patient. I'm not diplomatic.
married that is
I just see, you know what
it's
annoyed
still-
me? It wasn't that because
I
I still wanted to be patient even with that incident
Oh my
because I
God,
know
so-
that, and it's not even love. It is the level I've gotten to that. No matter how your head is hot, you have to calm down at some point. So I didn't say anything that day. I just kept quiet and smiled. You know what annoyed me and pissed me off? At another time when I got to them, I said, you said so and so thing. Me, I should hide in the room. If you don't know your age, I know my age. And then he said it got angry. He got very angry and he didn't want to talk about that. Was, and I just knew that this one.
Sarah, sorry, let me cut you. Let me come in from that. I like the last statement that you said that if you don't know your age,
I know my age.
I know my age. You know one thing about guys, they know what they want. They know when they actually want it. You understand? So you at that time you might be okay, or maybe this is I am fit. As a lady, you know when you want to get married. You know when age is telling on you. Not
It
when.
wasn't even about age.
Wait,
Because
not-
I believe that marriage
not-
should happen whenever it happens.
Not when everybody is telling you that Auntie Kimisha, what's happening? You're not bringing anybody. You've been going for wedding. You know the standard you set for yourself. Now, let me tell you. I was. Let me tell you
I'm
my
a
own.
bit triggered.
Let me
I'm
tell you
in the room.
my.
You know what is called
Let me tell you my.
Bojo.
Let me tell you my own.
And they know me, oh.
See
They
this
know
guy.
me.
We were dating, right? And I was like, how far now? At least if I'm dating you, all my relationship, I always feel that it's end the marriage. But that's the kind of person I don't like dates. I don't. If you like me, if we can work together, let's see. And the next thing, guy, what's happened? I don't meet anybody, not your friend, not your brother. And your mom used to come around. The only thing you tell me that my mom said I should not promise anybody marriage. At my age then, I look at my age. For me, I am ready. Age-wisely, I'm ready. Financially, I was ready. You understand? Careerly, everything around me was ready. My bank account, I was ready. And you, this guy, you have a good job. No, you know. So you not say, my mom said I should not promise any lady marriage. So I'm not even saying. I'm not even saying you should promise me marriage. Let me even see this. Let me just see them. He said no. Well, like you said, I love the guy. I was saying like, okay, it's a wave.
It's a wave.
Not a flag.
It's not a flag.
It's a wave. So I was like, okay, this thing is still like, okay, wait.
You're not sure yet.
I'm not sure. And I met another guy, my husband. Sharp. What I've been looking for. Talk to my mom. What are we going like? I say, wow. But because I don't want to like disappoint this one, there is a wave here. There is a way here.
There is a way here.
There is a way here. I was just like,
God,
what am I going to show me the way? I know you know when I made my final decision. I was in my husband's family house and I said, let me give this guy the last benefit of doubt. Let's see. I just called him, Gaffer, what's up? I'm in Lagos, how's everything? He said, hey, be careful. Oh, this. I'm coming, I'll call you back. I'm ironing my brother's shirts. I said, what? As your age? I said, I don't understand. You are ironing your brother's shirts.
How old is this person you are talking about?
My brother, my sister, of a marriageable age.
Okay.
With a good stature, good work. I said, you are ironing.
The stature of the bank account.
The guy is good. You are ironing your brother. I said, keep on ironing.
And you iron the part of your life.
And that was what ended. The next time you saw me, like, say, Becky, I said, I gave you all, but you're not ready.
I gave you all, but you gave me none.
You were not ready, and me, I was ready. And that was how we parted our way. We still talk. And that guy is married, he's finally ready.
Okay. You see,
So, red flag, red wave, if you can't deal with it, my sister, there are some things that if you cannot deal with it, thank God that it's just a matter of family, mommy's. There are big matters in marriage that you guys still have to like. If you can't like mommy's boy from where to where, no.
So
you know, and it also boils down to your personality as well. You know, we have some. I used to tell people we are all carriers of destiny. We have where we are going. If we are in a relationship, we are just a partner. So I need to, can you like the direction I'm going? Can you fit in?
are you going my way?
Are you going my way? Will it that I'll be going front, you'll be telling me that that's not the way. My own red flag, you see what I'm scared of in marriage is if a guy is scared of your success, if you are making progress and the guy is like, what? No.
You know,
We can't even enter the same. No.
Becky, you know, in one of my episodes, I think we are going to discuss it. You see, sometimes, have you heard about cases of a guy and a lady, actually they are in a relationship and they finish from the same university, and immediately after they got job and this lady started masters, PhD.
We had it.
We had an
an
episode
like
of
that.
that. Now, you see, if you actually have, I think this is another red flag. If you have a guy, right, that is afraid of your success as a lady, like you say,
is that a way?
It's a red flag, but I don't blame an African man
before
that
you go, you know there
feels
is
that way. There's a lot to that issue.
wait, Sarah,
There's a lot.
You know,
There's
there
a
is
lot.
something. It's not like I'm a feminist, so I can never be. Right? But you know, I can never be. But there is something that people used to say. They say, women education ends in kitchen. If you marry that kind of a guy, that thing, the summation of your life is to fry plantain and beans for him. What do you do?
Okay, so a man that is scared of your success is a walking banner.
It's a walking banner.
It's a walking red banner.
Okay.
However, in our own society, 7 out of 10 times, a man's responsibility, the singular most important responsibility a man is expected of a man in a home is to provide. In our own African, please tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay. I will now, definitely. Keep talking.
So what is expected of a man is to provide. Every other thing is secondary, which is actually not true. There is a lot to marriage than a man's ability to provide.
Yeah.
What I have learned in the course of my years of being an adult and engaging in conversations like this is that many times a man feels out of place when he can no longer provide. And sometimes that's where insecurity starts. That's the major reason for insecurity. And I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying this is a foundational problem. If we start hating on men who are jealous of their wife's success, we have not treated the root cause of the problem.
Okay.
The root cause of the problem is that a man can contribute a lot more than putting food on the table. It is even somehow to reduce everything a man can contribute to marriage to just provide.
Now,
it's a bad thing.
Now, you know, it also borders on women too. So I have this couple. Yeah, when I was in university, both husband and wife are working in the same organization. Okay. And I will say, like, the wife is of higher hierarchy than the husband. True life story. But one thing I noticed, there was a day I noticed that this man bought a new car to where we are, and we were talking, and he made mention of one thing. The wife was there. He made mention of one thing. He didn't say it here. We say, congratulations. And I said that mommy loaned motor, that mommy is the owner of the car, and mommy was there. But do you know one thing was that I saw this woman saying, daddy loaned motor. So funny, if we know who actually has the money, we know who owns the car. But you see, the wisdom of actually, so you understand, the woman actually protected the ego, the image.
And that is also a problem. Yes. Okay. There is nothing wrong in letting the world know that you're. Who told Africans this? The person that told Africans this is where the problem lies.
Oh, yeah.
Why is a man ashamed, or why will a man fail to admit that his wife is richer than him? What is wrong? Wait. What is wrong in being richer than your wife being richer than you? Who told Africans? I think the same person that told Africans that MTM must be in Sin 1. And then I said it was a comment on social media. MTM must be in Sin 1.
I need to
And Glow.
Every other sin should be in Sin 2. It's the same person that told Africans that the husband must be the owner of the car, the husband must one drive the car, and the wife sits by the husband. I think, and I don't think it is even realistic.
But
I think this is why, to a large extent, our society is very dysfunctional. Because if God wants to bless anybody, He will not care about your marital status. There is nothing wrong in your wife being more successful than you. It is not a big deal. But because we think that the only thing a man can, and that is why I don't blame, and that is why some men don't do anything in the house. That is why a woman will think, my money is my money, your money is our money. Because it is your sole responsibility in this marriage is to provide. And it's not so. If you look at, to the best of my knowledge, if you look at a successful marriage, there is a lot more than a man having. Do you know how many Nigerian women are sole providers in their families?
Yeah.
But they will hide and say, Daddy, it's my husband that is doing it. And there's nothing wrong. Okay, don't we know that men lose their jobs?
Of course.
No, even this is not a matter of losing. You can both have jobs and the woman. And there's nothing. See, let me say one thing. You see, we are Africans. And I'm not saying I'm an African. We are Africans. You know the socio-economic context or the cultural context of Africans. Now,
Please, I'd like you to break that down.
Okay. So
Like that?
what I mean is that, you see, we understand the norms, the beliefs, the traditions in Africa. You understand? So when we are dealing with issue, you understand, we don't want something, and that does not mean we should not. If something is against the norm, what is right, we should stand against it, even as an African man. You understand? What I'm trying to say is, there are some things that are not dangerous, that are not injurious, right? If people don't know. How is it like, okay, most people know that you are richer than your husband?
Okay, but people can know that my husband is richer than me.
No, that is where I'm saying issue of social, cultural.
Let us change that.
So that
we are a new generation. Your wife can be richer than you.
Nobody.
Your husband can. Your wife, you can be cooking in the house. It depends on what works for you as a couple. I'm not saying a woman must be richer than her husband. I'm just saying that we don't necessarily a man doesn't have to be ashamed that his wife is richer than him.
My sister. Let me say this. So that this is what I'm trying to say. You see, a man actually, you once said that a man actually feels there's this kind of ego around men. Believe me, from childbirth, you see it. Even you will see it. It's natural. It's not an African thing. But can a wife be richer than husband? Yes. Can a wife be the one providing for the husband? Yeah. No, it can. It happens. Yes, it can. But that does not mean the man should be responsible.
The man should be irresponsible.
Yeah.
Or the man should be laid back. No, the man may not be irresponsible, but the man will be laid back. See, there's a whole lot.
A lot going.
There's a whole lot. Do you know what I noticed about? There's also a whole lot. See, there are different sides to this thing, and it happens differently for everybody. There are different versions to this thing, and I'm not saying that a woman must be the sole provider. I'm not saying that. As a matter of fact, I prefer when
you are not saying a woman should not be.
I'm not saying a woman must be the sole provider of her home. I'm not saying that the man must. I'm just saying whatever is good for you, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. Marriage, relationships is peculiar to the couple in question. Whatever works for you. And I was about to also say that we always hear this popular story of a man has been paying rent for 4-5 years. It's a lot of money, only for him to realize that the property is owned by his wife. Do you know that there are some relationships where the moment you take up a responsibility in the home, your husband just we don't talk about that enough because we're so quick. I'm just showing you different sides and different shades that I know happens. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. That happens in Lagos, Nigeria. I don't know of any other part of the country, but I know that it happens to a lot of couples.
Okay, I think, let me see this before. Let me see. You see, what I'm trying to say is that a lady can be richer than a husband. And believe me, it happens. You understand? But I'm not saying a guy should not rest on the fact that, okay, the wife
you are
is
saying
it's not that. You see, it's not impossible that a wife is richer than the husband. It happens. Guys don't want it, guys don't pay it, but these are things that happen. I'm telling you, these are things that happen. A woman can be richer than her husband. A woman can be richer than her husband. But this does not mean that, number one, the husband should be responsible. The husband is supposed to be the provider
Of
of the family, right? Even if your wife is richer than you at the moment, speed up, develop yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the moment, it might be forever.
Realistically speaking.
Nobody is anybody's. We all carry our destiny.
Yeah.
Yes.
And God knows where He's taking each and
Everyone
every
to-
one of
yeah.
us to. So what me I would just say to this is, in a marriage, if you notice that the kind of man you marry
Some people are not
is,
married.
I know,
though.
I'll still come to that. In a marriage, if you're already in, and you notice that your husband is someone that is scared of your success, someone that is not always happy of your success, I would just say, don't bring everything to the table.
No, don't do that. Let me ask you, Becky, what is the purpose of marriage?
Open up, trustworthy,
Wow.
this and that.
But
You know what I mean? As in, there are some things you like, okay, you want to get home, you want to talk about, this is the contract I close, this is the deal I sign. And the man, you know that the next thing, the man will be showing you attitude. If I sign 20 deals and they say I signed 3 deals.
okay, you know what I will actually say.
But it depends on the couple
Let
involved.
me see.
It depends on the kind
You see,
of
this
man.
this particular thing say, you see, character actually builds up, but there was always a seed of that character, even when you are cutting. That's why you say,
Yeah.
But red
Don't
flags
watch
are not entirely red. Let's not forget. Sometimes
No.
it's a wave.
yeah, even the way
And
you
it
say,
is a way that you can like deal with.
Sometimes you will not be sure.
please, that is why you
So
should
all
should
this,
not marry
all
a
this
foolish
notion that, see, a man can have money today and tomorrow a woman may have more than a woman may have today and tomorrow. So
He might even
whichever,
be the man that is the
See,
sole provider from sole breadwinner family
whichever
from the
that,
very
like-
first day till the last, till death
so
do them part.
whichever that comes your way, whichever, if you are not married, if it is something you can stay with, if it is something you can manage, continue. If you are married, learn how to manage it.
Okay.
I don't say you should not be trustworthy, you should not be open up to your husband, but if you know that this thing is a threat to your marriage, do you, okay, now let me now throw it to the audience. Can your husband tell you like how much he's making in months?
It depends. Some men are
depends.
How much,
Actually.
like the salary is collected? It's not all men.
not
It's not all
natural.
men. Yeah.
If I check your phone, do you have password on your phone?
I do,
Why?
because I drop my phone everywhere.
Okay, you are not married, are you?
I'm not yet.
Okay, as when you have a girlfriend, will you allow your girlfriend to have access to
See,
your
let
phone?
me tell you something.
Yes,
Advice.
Yes, now.
Advice,
Yes,
yes or no?
yes, obvious.
Okay.
You know, okay, let me tell you one thing. The man I was telling you about, there are sometimes I will call him, I want to talk to him. If he say, "God," I will just say, "Okay, remove from that child." So,
Oh,
as
that
self
kind of like trust.
and her husband,
Yeah,
anybody,
like-
the phone that they pick. So you may want to talk to daddy today, that it is mommy that will pick you. Remove phone or office name, and you have to call mommy. So you understand?
But you know, like 50% of
It's not something that.
50% of Nigerian men, their phone
So,
is like
okay.
always.
Where did you get your statistics from?
My love, let's run it. Let's run
Okay,
it.
man.
Their phone is always on password.
So man,
Some of them, their girls, their wife know the password. Where some say for business, for security, for this, for that. So please be wise.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, well, let's roll it to you. What do you think about it? So we'll be able to tell you that number one, when you are in a relationship with a mommy's boy, please, you should look at it again. We are not saying you should break the table, just look at it. And if you discover that the guy or the lady you are is kind of scared of your success, please look at it again. At this point, I would like us to just draw a curtain on this show. So Sarah, your final word.
All right. Like I've been saying, red flags are not always entirely red. Sometimes we don't know this thing. Let's not be quick to judge people and say when they eventually come tell us, oh, this is what I've been going through in my relationship. Sometimes you're not sure. Sometimes they wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. However, once you start seeing things that, let's assume you're not married or your marriage just started. Once you see things that you're uncomfortable with, address it. Communicate in the best way possible that will pass the message across to your partner. Then again, ask yourself, if this person does not change, can I cope? Would I be ready to live with it for the rest of my life? And you know what to do next.
Red flag, red wave, whichever. No, red means a lot of things. It can mean stop, it can mean danger. whichever one that is pointing to you, if it's a danger, something that you can't cope with, something that can, please, if you are not yet married, work on yourself and like pray for a better person. But if it is a stop, like no go area, this person is not ready to change, this and that, you know, it's a relationship, and if it's a marriage, God will give you the grace to continue to like endure and to make your own blissful. But if it's a relationship, my dear sister or my dear brother, think and think about it again. So thank you very much until we come again.
All right. See you next time. This Heartitude Impact Show.